I mean, how much did you think stamps cost?
I know how much stamps cost. So Mark, who does not have feelings, had his feelings hurt today at the post
I
office.
do have. That's not right.
Not even at the post office, at Mailboxes Plus or wherever he went. All right, babe, go ahead with your story, please.
Okay, so I had a project I wanted to do. I needed stamps. So I look up on my phone the closest place that sells stamps, and I know there's a post office fairly close by, but there's a place closer. So the reason I mention that is because when I buy my stamps, I'm immediately thinking I should have went to the post office because they're cheaper there. That was the thing that I thought about too.
Fair enough.
But I don't know whether they are, because when I got back, I looked it up online, and I did not feel that they were cheaper in other places. Anyway, so I go in the door. You know, it's mailboxes, etc. or something. They got stuff everywhere. I thought they might have a stamp machine, but they don't. So I go to the counter, and I was like, I just want to get some stamps. And the guy's like, well, how many do you want? And I'm thinking, I'm not trying to be a big spender, but I might as well get a book while I'm here. A book of stamps. A book. That's a lot. But they're not very expensive. So the guy says, okay, which picture do you want on them? And I said, you know, he showed me the pictures, and I looked. And it was hummingbirds, the American flag, and I want to say fish or some kind of something decorative. And I said, let me get the hummingbirds because my grandfather loved hummingbirds. So the card reader says if it's under $5, you have to pay a $3 fee. Well, I've already got my card out, but when I see that, I'm thinking I'm only getting this book of stamps. I need to put my card up and get my $6 in my wallet out. So I get my $6 out of my pocket. And the guy rings up my book of stamps. And he's like, it's 18 something. So I got to regroup. I don't have to pay a card fee. Let me get my card back out. Much less, I got $6. I can't buy 18 bucks of stamps with $6 cash. So I run my debit card, $18. There's this little thing on the counter. And he's like, don't forget your stamps after you've paid, because some people do that. I was like, okay, thank you. So I actually felt like he might go in a desk and get like a big book out, like some stamps that I could flip around, you know, and have some options.
Because
but he's like, don't forget.
Books have chapters.
Yeah, chapters. So, because a book has chapters, that's correct. So he says, don't forget your stamps. And that same little small piece of paper is laying there on the counter. I was like, okay. So I took them on outside and I go to the car. And it's like, I'm thinking 18 bucks. So I'm trying to turn the pages back and forth. I can't tell you how many times I tried to split it apart to turn these pages. I'm like, look at my fingers. I'm trying to go both ways. I don't know. So I get to the car and I was like, okay. All right. I get to the car. I'm in the truck and I'm like trying to turn them, but I can't. I can't. It's like no matter what you do, you still have one side or the other. So then I have to count. I counted 20 stamps in a book. I mean,
that you felt like should have chapters.
Do what?
That you felt like should have chapters.
Yes. You buy a book, and it ain't a kid's book. It's stamps. It's got chapters. You go flip some pages. If you got a kid's book, you flip pages. What kind of book don't have pages? You tell me. So then I count the number of pages in this book, the number of stamps. And then when I do that, I realize there's 20 stamps I paid $16 to $18 for it. And that immediately dated myself almost back to when the milkman brought milk to your house, because I'm like, I swear stamps were like 20 cents.